reaffirmed its commitment to further deepen and substantiate cooperation with ASEAN. Miss Universe 2018 Catriona Gray enjoys a homecoming parade in the Philippines. The Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration is still monitoring a weather disturbance outside the Philippine area of responsibility as it intensified into a typhoon on Friday, February 22. Pag-asa said Wutip intensified from a severe tropical storm as of 3 a.m. and was located 2,400 kilometers east of Mindanao. It is packing maximum sustained winds of up to 130 kilometers per hour near the center and gustiness of up to 160 kilometers per hour as it moves northwest at 15 kilometers per hour. According to Pag-asa, a northeasterly surface wind flow is affecting Luzon and Visayas. Mindanao will experience partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers caused by localized thunderstorms, while eastern Visayas will experience partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated light rains. Palawan, Occidental, Mindoro, and the rest of Visayas will have partly cloudy skies. According to Pag-asa, moderate to occasionally strong winds blowing from the northeast will prevail over the eastern section of Visayas, and its coastal waters will be moderate to occasionally rough. Pag-asa said light to moderate winds blowing from the northeast will prevail over Palawan, Occidental Mindoro, and the rest of Visayas, which will have slight to moderate seas. In southern Luzon, Pag-asa said partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rains will be experienced over Bicol region and northern Samar with moderate to occasionally strong winds blowing from the northeast and with moderate to occasionally rough seas. Partly cloudy skies, Pag-asa said, will prevail over Oriental Mindoro, Romblon, and Marinduque, which will experience light to moderate winds coming from the northeast and will have slight to moderate seas. Metro Manila will experience partly cloudy skies and light to moderate winds. Coastal waters will be slight to moderate, Pag-asa said. U.S. President Donald Trump will have a one-on-one meeting with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un during their summit in Vietnam next week, according to a U.S. official. The two leaders who met for the first time in Singapore last June are due to hold talks in the Vietnamese capital Hanoi on February 27 to 28. Trump is seeking to persuade the North Korean leader to abandon his nuclear arsenal. A U.S. official said next week's meeting would be similar in format to what we saw last June in Singapore. There will be an opportunity for the two leaders to see one another one-on-one before holding meetings with their respective teams. Stephen Biegun, the U.S. official envoy to Pyongyang, is already in Hanoi holding talks with his North Korean counterpart Kim Yok-chol. U.S. officials have declined to speculate on what elements might be included in a joint statement at the end of the meeting. On Wednesday, Trump again praised his relationship with the North Korean leader, but said he would have to make a meaningful gesture on the nuclear front if he wants to see sanctions lifted. South Korean from different generations share their opinions ahead next week's Trump-Kim summit in Vietnam. Take a look.
핵 문제가 완전히 해결이 되면 저도 통일하는 거 원하는데 그렇지 않은 상태에서 그 뒤에 면에 숨겨져 있는 다른 면이 있다 그러면 그걸 노출시키지 않는 상태에서 비핵화된다 그러는 거는 저는 반대예요.
또 그런 일이 있다고 하면은 남과 북 이야기할 것 없이 다 불바다가 되고 우리 인종은 다 멸망하리라고 봅니다.
외국 기업이나 투자나 이런 게 좀 더 많이 좀 이제 경제가 이제 북한 관계에 대해 이제 영향을 안 받으니까 좀 더 한국 사람들도 그런데 막 주식 같은데 막 영향 안 받고 이제 좀 더 뭔가 좀 그런 취직 같은 것도 많이 될 것 같기도 하고 네, 긍정적으로 보자면 그런 요소가 있지 않을까.
A planned summit between the U.S. and North Korea has raised hopes among some South Koreans that the Kaesong complex may be reopened. The highly symbolic cross-border business project was shut 3 years ago. It has been 3 years since Park Yong-man's factory was shuttered amid weapons tests and soaring tensions. But next week's summit between the U.S. and Pyongyang may well signal the South Korean businessman's lucrative return to the north. His textile company, which employed around 300 North Korean workers, was one of 125 southern firms operating in the Quezon Industrial Complex, a highly symbolic cross-border business project that made hundreds of millions of dollars for Pyongyang. Seoul shut down the complex in response to a nuclear test and missile launches by the North, claiming that profits from the North Korean border city were funding Pyongyang's provocations.
전 세계 내가 개성공단 문 닫고 13개국을 다 다녔어요. 아프리카까지. 그래서 봉제 산업을 하는데 가장 적절한 인종이나 아니면 환경이나 기후나 아니면 그 문화나 이런 걸 다 봤어요. 일부러 스터디하기 위해서. 또 시간도 많이 있고. 근데 결론이 뭔지 아세요? 개성공단이에요, 북한이. 대출도 이제 더 이상 안 되고, 그리고 쓸 수 있는 자원은 다 썼고, 또 빚은 맥시멈으로 지금 커져 있고. 그렇지만 개성공단 재개를 기다리는 입장에서 최소한 인원을 유지해야 되고, 지금 그런 상황이에요.
아마 이번 회담에서 구체적인 합의로 제재에 대해서 모디파이 하거나 서스펜드 한다 하는 조항이 들어가기는 힘들 것으로 생각합니다. 다만 이 표현상으로 북한의 경제 발전에 미국이 서로 협력하겠다라는 정도의 문장이 들어갈 가능성은 배제할 수 없겠다라고 생각을 합니다.
The Philippine National Police on Thursday, February 21, lauded President Rodrigo Duterte's signing of a law that modifies the rank classification of policemen. In a statement, PNP spokesperson Senior Superintendent Bernard Banak said the modified rank classification will definitely lead to more performance output and productivity from the PNP uniformed personnel. He said this was because they would have a high morale as they will be called again the way they were addressed before. According to Banak, under this classification, the responsibility of the person holding the rank is also clearly defined according to his or her authority in the organization. As such, the age-old tradition of seniority and police customs on courtesy and privilege are further enhanced as fundamental doctrine, Banak said. Under the new law signed by President Rodrigo Duterte, the classification of the PNP is as follows. The Senate, Senator Panfilo Lacson, who served as PNP chief from 1999 to 2001, said the rank classification would prevent confusion among members of the public.
Visiting the Philippines, Manila or Quezon City is a popular destination. But oftentimes the hustle and bustle of the city can be more stressful on your vacation. So when you feel the need to reconnect to nature or relax again, there's a beautiful oasis just outside of the city called the Garden at Ciudad de Victoria. can see here include hydrangea, snapdragon, and stargazers. They're truly beautiful. The gardens at Ciudad de Victoria are so peaceful, tranquil, and beautiful that it's become a haven for young couples and a very popular venue for engagement photos. The next time you want an escape from the big city, the garden at Ciudad de Victoria is a wonderful place to visit.
Welcome back. The Department of Health in Region 12 will embark on massive measles vaccination starting next week for children 9 months to 5 years old as the disease continues to threaten many parts of the country. Jenny Panizales, DOH 12 focal person on measles eradication, said the massive vaccination against measles across the region aims to ensure that no outbreak will occur in Region 12. She says they aim to reach even the farthest villages to ensure 100% immunizations. From January to February 19, according to Panizales, the DOH-12 recorded 244 measles cases throughout Sorsogon, composed of the provinces of South Cotabato, Sultan Kudarat, North Cotabato, Sarangani, and the cities of Cotabato, Kidapawan, Tacurong, Coronadal, and General Santos. She said DOH-12 registered an additional 62 patients from the autonomous region in Muslim Mindanao. Upon the elevation of the ASEAN-Russia partnership to strategic level at the third ASEAN-Russia summit, Russia reaffirmed its commitment to further deepen and substantiate cooperation with ASEAN in the areas of, among others, science and technology, energy, connectivity, information and communication technology, education, health, trade and investment, and in combating transnational crimes, drugs trafficking, including thorough maximizing utilization of ASEAN-Russia Dialogue Partnership Financial Fund to facilitate ASEAN-Russia cooperative projects. The 16th ASEAN-Russia senior officials meeting held on the 20th of February in Bali, Indonesia, reported satisfactory progress have been made in the implementation of the comprehensive plan of action to promote cooperation between ASEAN and the Russian Federation. ASEAN-Russia partnership was elevated to strategic level at the third ASEAN-Russia summit last year. The senior officials also deliberated on the future direction of ASEAN-Russia relations in the meeting. The meeting encouraged both sides to look into the unimplemented measures or action lines under the CPA in order to address them through cooperative activities and practical projects as the CPA would expire by the end of next year. The meeting also touched upon regional and international issues of mutual interest and concern. ASEAN senior officials noted with appreciation Russia's substantial participation and contribution to the ASEAN-led fora and mechanisms such as the ASEAN Regional Forum, the ASEAN Defense Ministers Meeting Plus, and the East Asia Summit. The 16th RSUM was co-chaired by Director General of ASEAN Cooperation of Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Indonesia, Jose Tavares, and Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Russian Federation, Igor Morgulov. Senior officials from ASEAN member states and the ASEAN Secretariat also attended the meeting. The third annual EduTech Philippines 2019 was recently held at the SMX Convention Center in Pasay City. The event discussed new strategies and innovations to bring 21st century quality education to the country. Gerald Ranyes reports.
At the third annual EduTech Philippines 2019, various sector and the entire education system have once again joined forces to discuss new strategies, arts for teachings, and other changes in order to provide 21st century quality education in every corner of the country. The program aims for students and teachers alike to assess the learning management system through the use of cutting-edge technology using different digital platforms. The Department of Education, which responds first and foremost to the various needs and in providing quality education through the use of educational technology and innovations, continues its focus on new teaching strategies.
So I hope that even as we advocate, as we keep on repeating ICT, 21st science, etc., we should not forget, we should not abandon our history, our culture, our music, our dances, and all of these, which with the help of technology can be preserved not only for our learners at present, but also for the future.
Different presentations and exhibits were flashed, which highlighted the role of education and industry in the age of digital transformation. Globe, which is among the major sponsors of the event, showed their commitment in providing digital solutions in the fields of teaching, school administration, and needs of students. These includes programs such as the Digital Literacy Program.
And in Globe, it's not just providing connectivity, it's not just providing product or services or any solutions for the schools in the country. We actually have programs. So I mentioned a while ago that my team or our group is the center of excellence when it comes to education in the whole globe. So my group is in charge of providing or executing programs that would help students, that would help educators, that would help the school administrators to use technology in their classroom, in the whole university, and look at technology not just as a form of entertainment, but as a form of learning as well.
This will also be a huge help in speeding up transactions. The students' usage of GCash is an example of cash transfer of allowances, among others.
Optimizing our app experience so that students are compelled and very much in their nature to be able to bring out GCash as their kind of main mode of payment, because as mentioned, like, you know, their only idea of cash is, or at least money is of course cash, like the tangible paper that they want to see exchanged back and forth. You know, that experience, it can be a little tedious, especially now, and for those who travel back and forth from their dorms or their homes, travel.
And it's safer now because they don't have to bring money with them, correct?
Yep, the idea is that it stays in their phone and it's in secure payments as well.
There will also be good opportunities for those teaching and studying online through the use of LMS or the Learning Management System.
If you're delivering teaching and learning online, in other words remotely, so the student is on their own, one of the most important things of doing that is the engagement of the student and the teacher. The personalization of the interaction, the learning activities, the activities that the teacher uses to deliver that teaching. So we come from that background and we've developed from there.
The security IT system and school administration IT solutions and the service full package, which is offered by Globe, is also popular among those who participated in the event.
Parang example po, ako po yung learner. So may hawak po akong personalized ID ko. So pagpapasok po ako, itatap ko po siya. Pasok po. So may iwasan na po yung mga over the background, may iwasan na yan. Kasi ano na siya eh, secured na siya eh. Kailangan yung mismong estudyante siya yung magtatap. And here's more, hindi lang yon, hindi lang log report ang binibigay niya. Pag nagtap yung bata, si learner, may manonotify ngayon na message kay parent. So kampante na si parent na pumasok na yung bata sa eskwelahan. So paano naman pag nag-out? Ganun din, magtatap din po siya. O out na siya. Magno-notify uli kay parents that the student has successfully logged out of the school. It's really for school security and monitoring purposes. Yung school management solution, computerized na rin po yung registration, enrollment, the cashiering, and library system.
While the adaptation and embrace of digital transformations remains a challenge today because of different cultures and beliefs, the education sector continues to be a battleground with all the attention needed because the molding of responsible individuals who are considered the future begins at school. For Eagle News, I'm Gerald Ranyas and I'm one with 25.
Marks. Linggo, alas 6 hanggang alas 7 ng gabi.
Welcome back. Armed with crowbars and wearing protective gear, 3 women assemble at a stress clinic in Indonesia capital Jakarta. They smash a cluster of glass bottles to unleash their pent-up rage at the temper clinic, which also lets clients bust up old televisions and printers for a slightly higher price. Watch this.
Sebel karena udah mau masuk, jadi belum merasa liburannya cukup. Oh, gitu.
Ini sih, tapi emang macet kalau misalkan kita pergi nih Jumat malam mau pergi itu kayak kadang-kadang kesel banget sih. Terus gue pernah dengar temen gue sekali waktu itu pas lagi jalan macet nih, dia pernah saking stres sampai nangis. Nah, jadi itu kelihatan kan kayak level stres orang Jakarta tuh bisa sampai segitunya.
Hundreds of people sift through a vast wasteland of rubbish strewn across a beach on the southern tip of Indonesia's Sumatra Island, underscoring the Southeast Asian archipelago's mammoth marine waste problem. In just over 3 hours, the group managed to collect an eye-watering 30 tons of rubbish from the coast in Lampung province. Take a look.
Kalau hujan kan lari ke laut. Kalau angin kayak gini dia ke tengah, kalau angin dari tengah dari angin barat, ya lari ke sini. Karena di sini banyak ada nelayan kan, ya tarik jaring gitu bang.
Ibu kan yang cari dari Lampung, yang cari dari Lampung lalu naik.
Sampah sebetulnya bicara keberlanjutan, bagaimana juga program ini produksi sampah itu bisa direncanakan secara berkelanjutan, tidak hanya di event-event nasional atau hari-hari peringatan hari-hari lingkungan saja.
Miss Universe 2018 Catriona Gray enjoys a homecoming parade in the Philippines. Gray, a student of music theory, beat more than 90 contestants from around the globe to clinch the tiara in December. The 25-year-old danced, smiled, and waved a tiny Philippine flag from atop a float, shielded from the pounding tropical sun by attendants holding pink umbrellas as some in the crowd scaled utility poles to catch a glimpse. Manila's already notorious gridlock was brought to a complete stop by a police motorcycle escort that blocked roads as confetti cannons sprayed the crowd, which was pushed back by officers. Gray works at a non-government outfit that provides free education for children at a Manila slum and has lent her voice to her country's most controversial issues, including legalizing medicines that contain marijuana. Gray, whose father is Australian, was the 4th Filipino winner of the prestigious beauty pageant and the 2nd since Pia works back in 2015. And that is the latest news in the Southeast Asian nations. Stay updated about the ASEAN region. I'm Maricar Velasco and I am one with 25.
Abangan ngayong